Hey guys, I'm just gonna wait small, wait a bit for many more people to join in. Just gonna do a sound check real quick. So increase the size of my screen so everybody can see it. So what do I need to close to make sure we have the best experience? Let's wait a bit. Hi guys, if you're just joining. Hi, I'm happy to be here, happy to do a stream again. If you joined last time, it was like pretty awesome. We solved the hooks of change quest. So today, the drill. We are going to go through one of the popular quests on Wilco and solve it together and see how far we get. Today's quest is going to be pretty short because it's the getting started quest. It's called the fixing a bug quest. This quest is pretty much very easy, but I've seen like a lot of people, have issue with this quest. And I said, hey, why don't we, hash out this particular quest together? So I'm excited to do this quest with you guys. And if you can hear me, just say hi. I can hear you and we'll get started. So if you can hear me, just say, hey, I can hear you. And we will get started. So I'm just waiting a bit for, everyone. And yeah, let's see how far it goes. Okay, I can. I hope I pronounced your name well. I can thank you for coming through. Hey Pardeshi, thank you for joining. Thank you so much for making your presence known. This is like you folks are like the reasons why this stream exists. Without you guys, there's no stream. Without you guys, there's no Wilco. So thank you so much for joining once more. And let's get this started. So for today's quest, we are going to be fixing a bug. So it's a pretty interesting quest because you get to see how how to solve a bug in production. So it could be in any way, any possible way, but bugs happen every single time when you write code. It is what they call it. It is inevitable. So I'm happy to be doing this quest and just making sure everyone is joining in. Spread the word, reach out to your friends using Wilco. That Wilco is organizing a stream where you can see the solutions to certain quests, and I'm really, really excited doing this. So let's get started, shall we? Just going to make sure that we are in tune. Okay, so Natasha, Vanessa says, hey, once again, before you do anything else, please run the following command .startquest.sh and let me know once you are done. So let's do it real quick. So this is my terminal. I use WARP. It's a very new terminal, WARP. You can check it out. So let's just do this /start_quest.sh. So when I run this, it resets it and all good. So let's go back to Ness and say done. So let's see what she says. We have a created bug in production. We have that needs fixing. I'm opening an issue on GitHub and assigning it to you. So please fix it ASAP and remember to submit a PR once you are done. Oh, and in case you feel like you need to read more about it, I got you covered. You can click here, to see more about this. So let's just go to our GitHub repo and see what the issue. Okay, so let's check the issue and see. It seems that when creating a new product on an image, there are broken images showing up in the product catalog. Please fix this by replicating this bug locally with mock data. Take a screenshot of the fix, attach it to the PR when you are done. There's a placeholder image in the repo that you can use named placeholder.png. So that's basically what we are supposed to do. And I'm excited about this particular quest because it just shows, oh, this is how, the real world is. This is how you just randomly get messages from your manager or from your team lead, like, hey, I need you to fix this bug ASAP. So let's do as we're told. Let's fix this bug as soon as possible. So the first thing we need to do is we need to start our Docker instance. So I need to start Docker first. So I'm just going to search for Docker, click on Docker. So if you come up here, we should see Docker trying to start. So Docker is starting. So you need to always start Docker before you carry out any quest. It's very, very important because the quests use Docker containers to be able to, see your application. So let's see how this takes. So Docker is currently running. That was fast. The next thing I would advise you do immediately you have a bug and you started, you started fixing and you've started your Docker container, create a Git branch. Very, very important. You do not want to merge on the main and cause production. You always want to create a branch and commit all your work on that branch. So I'm just going to do git checkout. Yes, git checkout -b. I'm going to call this getting started front end. So we are going to solve the front end part of this particular quest. This quest has two parts. It has the front end and has the back end. So we're going to solve both issues. So if I do like this, it has created a new branch. So if I do git branch, I can see that I am currently on the getting started git branch. Okay, so let's clear this. So now the next thing I want to do is to run Docker compose up. Very, very important to run Docker compose up. Okay. Seems like we have something running. What is already allocated? Do we have the Docker container running? So it seems like something is already running. So if I check my Docker dashboard, I've seen like a lot of people have this issue where all of this, so MongoDB is running at the moment. Only one is running at the moment. So let's stop it, right? Let's stop this. Let's stop this and see what else. There's nothing else running. Something else running. So let's try this one more time. Docker compose up. Voila, everything works now, right? And yeah, let's see our, let's see what else we need to do. Okay, so we have our backend running, right? So let's go to localhost 3000. Of course, /API /items. So we already have one item installed, right? So let's go to localhost 3001. Let's see if this works. So for some weird reasons, our front end isn't working. And the good thing about this stream is you guys get to watch me solve this issue, right? So let's look and see what the issue is on the front end. It says, what does it say? /wait for it.sh not found. That's weird. That's weird. Okay, let's do this. Let's kill the instance again. Let's kill it. Let's kill it again. So what is this +1? So GS. So let's check this one more time. Let's check it again. Docker compose up. Let's see if there's something. Wait for it.sh not found. It keeps saying this, wait for it.sh not found. So that's a big problem here. That's a really big problem. So the best way to do this is to hold on. So let me just clear this so we know what we are doing. So let's run this. Let's do this. Let's isolate the problem. The best way to solve this is by isolating the problem. So let's create another tab. So let's click on that tab. I think we can bring this here. Move to the left. Move to the left. So let's do cd. So let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do a git. Let's go back to our main branch and see if the reason why we are in this problem is because we ran the command without our main branch. So let's do this and see. So I'm going to zoom in a bit again so you guys can see it well. So let's do docker compose up. So we're getting the same error. So the thing here is that it is certainly not our Git branch that is having this issue. We need to be sure why this issue is happening, right? So what I can do here, so let me just kill the container again. Let's do /start quest sh again. Okay, so let's run docker compose up and see why this is not found. It still says wait for it.sh not found. That's a big problem. So let's go back to our GitHub repo and see if there's something that's missing. So let's see. They say start quest. So front end. Okay. So what we can do to solve this problem is let's just navigate directly into the front end folder and run the command from there. So see whether this solves the issue we are having. So let's do this. Let's do this. npm run dev. Sorry, run start. This should start the front end app. So let's put it in 3001. What was access to my browser? Taking a while to start, and there we have it. Our application works, right? But there's an issue. Something is not being found, right? Something is wrong. An error. Cannot be property of null. The item is in here. So let's sign in, right? Let's sign into it first. Email. Okay, so there are some issues. I do not know why this happened. So let's check our GitHub repo again. So let's copy this. Let's reclone this. Maybe I have a bad file. So let's just be sure that we have the correct. Let's just be sure that we have the correct file. So this is like this whole process is called debugging, right? I'm trying to figure out what my issue is. I'm trying to see like what the best option could be. So let me just do an rf anything market, right? So let me then do a git clone. So let's clone it again and see if this solves our problem. Okay, so we go back to anything. Let's kill Docker. So Docker does not have any, let's restart Docker. Docker does not have any stale containers. Let's try this again. Let's give it one more shot and see if this solves our issue. So Docker is still starting. There's a container running at the moment, and I'm going to have to stop this. Front-end React. So let's delete this container, right? Let's delete this container and see if this would download like fresh, give us a fresh installation of all our code. So if I run the Docker Compose up, it would restart everything. Okay. Okay. Seems like we are good to go. Okay, so our backend is running. Our backend is running. So our backend works. For our front end, I'm not sure. So let's give it a try again. So let's make sure that backend works. Backend works. So let's do a localhost 3001. Front end did not send any data. Okay, our front end is still installing. So we have to wait for our front end to finish installing. It's going to take a bit of time, but our backend works. We just need to be certain that our front end is working before we can try sending it. So our front end is building fresh packages, and we have the same issue. Wait for it.sh not found. Docker. So let's be sure that we are running this correctly. So let's start this container again. Wait for it.sh not found. There's a missing package that I need to figure out why. Wait for it.sh not found. That's a really weird error. Our backend works. We just only have issues with our front end, and we cannot work without our front end, right? So wait for it.sh doesn't work. So let me go and do a bit of research and search for this problem on the Discord, right? To see if anyone has solved this problem before. So let's be certain /wait for it.sh. So let's try this one more time. So I think I found the issue. So as someone has had an issue where this is not working, right? This isn't working, and the way they were able to solve it was to run Docker compose up -- build. So let's see. So we are basically rebuilding the entire container, and this will take a bit because because the Docker image I have at the moment is currently broken. So I need to rebuild every single thing and make sure that every single aspect of the application is needed, is downloaded rather. So let's see. So let's run this again. Let's wait for it. Okay, let's wait for this a bit. Okay, so seems like our application is working now, and it seems like my light has gone off. So while this is being installed, let me quickly, turn on, fix my lighting. So it seems our front end is now working, and I'm excited about that. So when next you see an issue like this, when trying to, when trying to, when next you see an issue like this, when trying to solve this particular problem, just know that all you need to do is to basically start your run Docker compose dash up, Docker compose up, then dash build, and that will solve your problem for you. So next time, please do this, and you will pretty much be on your way to solving the problem. So let's go and try this again. Let's run localhost 3001. Ooh, yay! Our code works. So the issue here is that we have this here. We are supposed to have a fallback image when we do not have add an image added to the item. So if you click on edit item, you will see that I did not add any image. I only added the name of the shots, and that's pretty much it. That's why we are having this issue. So this is what we're about to solve. Now, let's go back to our code. Now, this is where it gets interesting. The fix to this is really, really simple, right? The fix to this is very, very simple. And it's just, making sure that there's a fallback image when we post an item without an image. So I go to my front end. I think it's the front end issue. So we go to components. Which of these components are so let's do item preview, right? Item preview. So if you come to item preview is basically where the image we are like rendering, right? The item is being rendered. This is basically, this particular component is responsible for this. This you can see here. That's what this component is for. That's why we will make the change here. So the best way to solve this is to look through the code, right? Look through the code, and okay, so we have src item.image. So this is where this image is actually being rendered, right? This is where this image we are supposed to get here is actually being rendered. So just to be certain that this is where it is being rendered, we can what we can do here is to give it a border color. I think there's border, so let's give it a border block color. Let's give it red. So Pretty has given us an error. Pretty could not be loaded, blah, 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 blah. That's not our business. So if I refresh this, I inspect this just to be certain that this is where we are supposed to get this. If I check the styles, let's take this up. Color. Okay. So style border result 6px, border result 20px. So yeah, that's pretty much where we are supposed to change. So what you can do here is based on what Ness instructed us to do. Ness said that let's go to our issues. Because the issues, missing image. So Ness says placeholder. So we have an image called placeholder.png. So what we can do is we can create a new variable called const. Let's call this fallback image. Then we pass slash placeholder.png, right? So that's what Ness wanted us to do. That's Vanessa. So if you come here, the best way to solve this is the fastest way to solve it is just to add an OR block. So an OR gate. So let's check what and also OR in React. Because we're writing React code. So conditional rendering in React. So what we are doing is conditional rendering. So if you check it out, you will see that that is our main fix to this. So if you see this here, you can see this here that this dot props the current user the rule or so this is an or block. So if this is available, the command runs. If this is not available, this runs, right? So that's what an OR gate is in React. It's called conditional rendering in React. I don't know why the React documentation is not running, right? Okay, let's check W3 schools. So we could use the if statement, you can write an if command, but in this situation, we just want to do something very simple. We don't need to overcomplicate our code. We just want to make sure that whenever the image is not available, right? We render another image. So what I can do, let's try out two things, right? Let's try out two things. Let's use ternary operators. So we can do this. So we can do this item.image. So we can do this. We can do this item.image. Then so for item.image, so this is like I want to see if this actually works. So I can do, I don't think ternary operator works in this situation. So since it's not a conditional, right? We don't need to make any condition. Ternary operation does not work. So what we can do is to do or fallback image. So if I run this, let's delete this because we don't need this anymore. If I run this, so this fallback image comes from the constant operated, which is placeholder.png. So if we go back to our code and we refresh this, weird. Something we're not doing right. Let's see what our front end has to tell us. That's what our front end has to tell us. So something is wrong. Let's close this. So we're on the best side of every single person. So let's see what we are doing wrong. Right? What do you Yes, we have declared fallback image previously. Um we called it slash placeholder.png. So that's what. Oh, okay. So the issue here is we did not name this correctly. So that's why we are having this issue. So please, when you are writing code, please make sure that you check every spelling correctly. Please make sure that you are always 100% certain about the spelling of certain things before you write it, because it can cause a lot of work, which is why we had this issue, right? So we currently have this issue fixed. We currently have this issue fixed, but we only have the issue fixed here, but we don't have the issue fixed here, right? Because it's commented directly from the API, which is going to be the next step of this particular quest. So for us to be able to submit this, we need to do this. We need to do this. We need to take a screenshot of this. So let's take a screenshot of that. Then let's go back to our terminal. Since we did not create a branch the last time we fixed something. So once you've been in a situation like this where you need to create a branch, even after you've written code or you've made some changes and you do not want to have to delete that change, then switch to another branch and make the change again, you can do this. Git switch -c, let's call it getting started front end, right? Let's be sure. Let's be sure. So let's do a git branch. So we have git. So let's create a new branch. Getting started front end. Now JS. Now, so we just create a new branch. You should check out that B getting started front end. Now the next thing we need to do is to do a git add dot, then a git commit -m. This is the shortest way to do it. Git commit -m, and I really love doing it this way because I don't have to open a Vim terminal, a Vim page or a nano page. I hate it, seriously. So we can call this fix placeholder issue on the front end. So then we can do a git push origin getting started front end, right? Getting started front end. So when we run this, it tells us you can create a pull request, blah, 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 by visiting this and that. So let's just copy this, come back to our code. Let's put this here. So see, we call this fix front end. Please fallback image issue. So that's pretty much the issue we're fixing. We're fixing the fallback image issue. So if you check really well, just make sure that we need to make sure that we are doing it correctly. So Ness informed us that we need to add an image that shows whatever it is that we've done. So that's a big problem here because we always need to add it. So I need to figure out the way to add this. So what we can do is, how do we add this? So I would upload it to a Google Drive, right? And we take it from there. So drive.google.com, click my files. We can add this. New file upload. Upload this. We'll wait for that to happen. Okay, it's taking a while. Okay, so we have our file installed. Still being processed, I guess. So let's click on share. Anyone with the link? Let's copy this link. Let's come back here. Then do this. So let's do this. Then we can do this. So let's see if this actually works. Did it work? It's supposed to have loaded by now, but it didn't. Let's check Drive to make sure that this particular file has been previewed already. So this is our screenshot. So let's go back here and just be sure that this works. Image preview. Let's just do this. Image preview. Let's add this here. For some weird reasons it's not showing, but in this case, it will just take our time. So let's just move on. You can copy and paste into the comment box. Oh, I never knew. I never knew that you could do that. So let's see. I never knew you could do that. So let's do a P. Oh, that's really nice. Thank you, Taufik Bakari. I actually have used GitHub for like years now, and I did not know that I could actually do this. This is really, really cool. So thank you for that. So if we do this, and we have our image. This is really, really awesome. Thank you, Taufik. So create pull request, right? So once we create pull request, next we check it to be sure. Where's next? Where's next? So next, let's just refresh this, just be sure that Ness has seen it. Also, Ness, yeah. So Ness says, thanks, activist 1, 2, 3. I'll review the changes right away. If you guys can see me, okay. Review the changes right away. Okay, so let's wait for this a bit. This will take a bit. I have a strong feeling that we might have an issue with linting, but I have the perfect way to fix this. So if we have an issue with linting, you would see the best way to fix this on your machine whenever you have a linting issue when solving a vehicle quest. So, and like I said, like I just knew this was going to happen. We failed the linting test. We failed the linting test, which is going to be a blocker for us, of course. It's going to be a blocker for us. So let's just wait to see if our code actually works. So we failed the link test, right? We failed the link test. There's run yarn links, and we failed the link test. We have some code style issues, blah, blah, blah. But our code actually works, right? Our code actually works because we passed the main test that actually checks our code. Now we just need to make sure that we are passing the linting text, and we can merge. So we filled the linting test, we passed everything, make sure all checks pass. only then can you merge. So you can fix this by running yarn run format. I think this works. Yarn run format. Oh, so we need to move into the front end folder. So front end, then run yarn run format. So if you run this command prettier not found, blah blah blah. I have prettier installed. Weird. This is really weird. Let me confirm my node version 16. I have prettier installed. So I do not have prettier installed on this machine. So let's quickly install prettier on this particular node version. So prettier install prettier. So let's see how we found the MT Expedia. That's right. Hold on. Let's just be sure. So let's do a cat package.json. So if you come down here, it runs yarn prettier to the right. So we don't need to install prettier. I can just do an npx right. So you can quickly run this. So you just need to install prettier. Then yeah, voila. So just need to do a git add dot git commit -m fix linting issues. Then do a git push origin getting started content. So wait for this to run again. So wait for this to run again. So the command for linting is npx prettier -right. npx prettier -right. If you have prettier installed, hold on, let me just share this in the chat. So this command will work and it will help you lint immediately. So let's check our code and just to be sure that everything works. Just to be sure that everything works. Let's wait a bit and see. Okay, so all checks have passed. And voila, we can share every single thing we need to do. So I'm proud of us. We were able to solve the first part of this issue. So I'm proud of every single one here, and I'm proud of myself. So let's merge the pull request, confirm merge, go back to anything here. So we've solved 50% of this quest. Now, next up is excellent job, Shedrack. You're not able to merge the PR. I merged the PR. So you know what I hate more than bugs? Bugs that just won't go away. Looks like the root cause for your bug is still out there, and we are forming a hunting party. Its participants, of course, are us. Yeah, you guessed right. We fixed the bug in the UI, but someone is our API, and the bug is still happening in the backend. So now we have to go back to the backend and see why we are having this issue. Now, if we go back to this place, if we go back to code, let's go back to the backend. So let's go to the backend and see what issue we are having in the backend. Let's close this since we solved this already. And first things first, let's create another branch because this branch has been closed, right? So let's create another branch. So git switch git switch -c getting started backend. So we've switched to getting started /backend. This is where we're going to put every single thing we need to do for the second aspect of this quest. So go back to the backend. Now we need to find exactly what is responsible for rendering the image on the backend. So if you look at the API structure, we have slug, we have title. So you can find this as SoCal 3000 API/items. So we have, let me zoom in more. We have description, empty, we have image, also empty. So we need this image to always have a /pseudo.png whenever the an API request is made. So we fix it on the front end, but we also need to fix it on the back end. Well, we created art, we have this. So we need to find what is responsible for the way this way the item schema looks. So we need to go back to our front back end, routes, right? API, no. It's not the best place to find. Let's go to our models, right? So items.js. So this is what is responsible for models. So what we can do here is to, like before, so we have item, we have the same structure, we have the same structure here. Now, the funny thing about MongoDB is this. If you do this, if you make the change here at this image, it will not work because this image is already in the DB, right? It's only work for, if you make the change here, it will only work for the new images or the new items that are being added to the DB. So what we can do for this solution is, since everybody's using var, so let's call this fallback image again, fallback image. Then we call this /placeholder. Let's show that we spelled this correctly. .png. Placeholder.png. So now that we have our fallback image specified here, we cannot do this here because the item is already in the DB, so it will not affect it. What we can do is to come straight down here to the schema. Like you come, this is for the item itself, right? This is the item schema itself. But this here, where is it? Is the user, right? Is the user method, item schema method. So since this has a this.image, what we can do is to just do this, the same way we solve the front-end bug, and call this fallback image. We save this. If we go back to this and run a hard refresh, you can see here, if you zoom in a bit, you can see here that this particular placeholder.png is now there. Before it wasn't there, that's why we had that bug. It wasn't there, but now it actually is here, like I showed you earlier. So this is how we solve the second part of the bug of the issue. So if we come here, we do a git status just to be sure that we made the change and git sees it. So we can do a git add dot and git commit -m. So we can call this fix placeholder issue on the backend. On the back end, right? On the back end. Okay, sorry. Git add dot. Then git. Oh, we are on the front end folder. So cd backend. So run the same command, git add fix issue on the placeholder issue on the front end folder. So if you run git, if you run yarn run format, sorry, npx write dot, we can now make a PR. So GS, it should be in green. So git add dot gc-m linting, then GS. We have nothing to push, so git push origin getting started backend. So like we did before, we create a pull request. We copy this. You can click on it if you want, but I prefer to copy. So we click on this. We do not need to submit any image anymore. So all we can do is just say fix fallback image issue on the backend. Fallback image issue on the backend. So let's create a pull request. So let's check what Vanessa says. Okay, she says, on it, I will review the changes as soon as possible. So let's merge our branch and just be sure that we are doing everything correctly. So before we create a new branch, right? Since our main is already we already merged to main, we're supposed to be base our main branch into our new branch, which is why we got that issue. So let's wait and see and wait for the checks to finish. So if you go back to anything, Ness is still checking the PR and we wait. Are you guys enjoying the stream so far? If you are, just comment in the comment section that I am enjoying the stream. I'm happy to be here. So the first PR check passed. Now we are checking for linting. So Vanessa says, perfect, Shedrack, you're not able to match the PR, but because we updated the branch, right, with the new branch, with the main branch, we need to wait for the checks to finish, then we can approve, then we can merge it. So perfect, Hacksabbase 1, 2, 3, you are now able to merge, to make the merge, able to merge. So let's wait. Thank you, Taufik. Thank you for being very, very reactive. And I refresh this. So we wait for the PR checks to finish. Then after the PR checks finish, then we merge. Okay, so all checks have passed and we can now merge. So let's just merge it. And once I merge this, we have finished this, right? Achievement unlocked for finishing 5 quests. Pushing the envelopes. I've finished 5 quests. So guys, it's been awesome, right? We finished this project, started from the beginning. We debugged through having Docker issues. Our code was not working, our application could not start. We debugged that, we solved the issue. Whenever you see where Docker says wait.sh not found, you know that you can now run docker compose-up, then that's build, and it builds the entire container again and solve the issue. We know we were able to start our front end, start our back end. We are also able to fix the bug, solve the bug on the front end, solve the bug on the back end, make the right commits, learn how to, format our code with PTR when, we have linting issues on GitHub. And not just linting issues, I advise you that before you send any PR, you always run npx PTR that's just right, then dots. This will link every single file in the folder that you're currently in. So guys, I'm super excited that we're able to solve another quest, and it's been real, it's been awesome. Like, thank you so much everybody for joining. You can try out the quest yourself, try out that quest. I will be back in a couple of weeks to let's not a couple of weeks, let's say I'll be back before the end of the month for another stream where we'll be solving another quest. What quest we're solving, we don't know yet. You'll find out. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Thank you, Taufik. You were really, really reactive. Thank you, every single person on the call, on the stream. It was awesome to be here. And never stop developing. Keep referring your friends to Wilco. Keep doing more Wilco quests, and I will see you all soon. Thank you so much, my friends, and see you all soon. Goodbye.